Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived a wealthy man with 2 sons. The elder son was responsible and hardworking, while the younger son was carefree and adventurous. Although the younger son loved his family, he longed for freedom and excitement outside the confines of his home. One day, the younger son approached his father and asked for his share of the inheritance. The father, with a heavy heart, agreed and divided his wealth between the 2 sons. Grateful and excited, the younger son packed his belongings and set off to discover the world. His journey led him to a bustling city filled with lights, laughter, and endless opportunities. The young man quickly made friends and began to enjoy life's pleasures. He spent lavishly on luxuries, parties, and gifts, and indulged in adventures. But as time went by, his wealth dwindled. Soon, he found himself without money, friends, or a place to stay. To make matters worse, a terrible famine swept through the land, leaving him hungry and weak. Desperate to survive, he took a job feeding pigs, earning just enough to barely sustain himself. As he looked at the pigs' food, he longed to eat their leftovers, realizing he had hit rock bottom. The young man, filled with sorrow, remembered his father's home, where even the servants had enough to eat. How many of my father's hired workers have food to spare, and here I am starving to death, he thought. With a heart full of regret, he decided to return to his father and humbly ask for forgiveness. I will say to him, "Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am not worthy to be called your son. Let me be like one of your hired workers." Gathering his courage, he set out on the journey back home. As he approached the familiar countryside, memories of happier times flooded his mind. Nervously, he rehearsed his apology, unsure of how his father would react. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion. The father ran to his son, embraced him warmly, and kissed him with tears in his eyes. "Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you," the son began. "I am not worthy to be called your son." The father, overwhelmed with joy, called to his servants, "Quick, bring the best robe and put it on him. Place a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Bring the fattened calf and let us celebrate, for this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." The elder son, who had been working in the fields, heard the music and laughter and asked a servant what was happening. Upon learning the reason for the celebration, he was upset and refused to join. His father went out to him and listened to his feelings. "Look, all these years I've been slaving for you and never disobeyed your orders. Yet you never gave me even a young goat to celebrate with my friends," the elder son lamented. The father, compassionate and understanding, replied, "My son, you are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we had to celebrate and be glad, because this brother of yours was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." Both sons learned valuable lessons that day, one of repentance and forgiveness, the other of acceptance and understanding. And their father's love reminded them that no matter what happens, family is forever.